You can make a difference. By becoming a supporter of our channel, you not only help us thrive, but also become an active part of our community. The link to join us is in the description. By the way, an illusion that we feed, which is natural in the lives of all of us, is that people are always the way they were in other times of life. By the way, I keep thinking that the friendships that are lasting are those that resist these natural processes of change. If you had a friendship that was interrupted and returns 3 years later, of course, you will not be the same. What we need to do after a while like this is to re-regulate that person from the differences that have been established over time. It is natural for us to change. For example, I experience it all the time, right? My life changes a lot. A while I'm here, another time I'm there, and I have a lot of friends. Thank God I have acquaintances and friends right throughout Brazil. Some are real friends. They are part of my life. They know everything I'm living. Others are friends, but they are not that intimate. I have less opportunity to share who I am, man. Others are known or friends from other times, 10, 20 years ago, that we were losing contact. Life was distancing us. It is natural that when we meet, we are modified, and it would be an illusion for us to think it will be all as it was before. By the way, it's unfair for us to want the other to be the same way. It is an injustice with the other. We expect him come to act the same way. And often, Isaac, when we want it to be the same, we deprive ourselves of the new time that friendship can represent in our life. When we start creating that need to do the other being just as he was at that time, we lose the opportunity to have the other as he is today. Is not true? Many times, in our anxiety of wanting the other to be who he was, we miss the opportunity to have who he is today, that we change. See you. Everything that has happened in his life over these 3 years, which you have not been present, which you have not seen, you have lost the context a little. I like to say that if you truly want to know and understand a person, enter their context. It is equal to knowledge. You cannot take a sentence, remove it from the text, and want to understand it. This, from a hermeneutic point of view, is a crime. Every text calls for a context. The human person, too, want to understand a person. You will visit her family a little. Want to understand who your friend is. Why does he act in this way or that way? Start knowing the family of this friend a little more. That's why it's sometimes easier for you to understand your friend when you met his whole family, where he was born, who was the people who were part of his life. It's interesting, right? Some people. How can I love someone in the present life if I am not aware that they have a past that did not belong to me? It has arrived in my life now and arrived bringing a story. Love consists of this positive investigation, is not doing, oh, I want now. I will gossip. I will not. It is a natural process. So much so that it is part of the lives of friends to tell the past, because somehow we are giving him the keys that open us. It's not like this. We have a story, and it is not for anyone that we deliver the key to our history. We need to trust, and friendship is a natural process where you get to know each other from what it manifests. The other is always a phenomenon before me. Why is it a phenomenon? Because it is manifestation. One day you know the best he has. One day you know the worst he's. And you are gathering it all. You start to know how he reacts when he is afraid, when he is insecure. The friend is a constant learning. The friend is a territory that you are slowly piercing and together. That's where you are identifying. That's where you recognize how much of this territory you can already say knowledgeable. Have you been crying with him? Have you rejoiced with him? Have you ever despaired with him? Have you dreamed of him? Have you been unemployed with him? Have you had money with him? Have you been broken with him? It's not like this. It's 3 years, my friend. It's been 3 years that you stayed out. And perhaps it may have been years that have changed the person too much. Because sometimes life is like this. You have that doldrums, that period. And suddenly a year is critical to radically influence the way you are that person. For example, a lot has changed in my story. It was the year I left Minas Gerais that I went to live in Santa Catarina. It was the year when my father died. It was the year when my friends, which until then I had close to me, were distant. It was a year when I spent full without seeing my mother. I stayed 1.5 years without going home. You see, when I come back, I'll be back a modified human being. Because it was an intense year. It was a year of many achievements. I can't. My friends who wait for me. Those who are truly willing to continue, my friends. Right. How is he? How did he face the death of his father? How did he live this transition process? That's it, my dear. Don't want to your friend is the same as 3 years ago. But now you have the opportunity to demonstrate your friend quality. Because our ability to be a friend precise all the time, to be adapted, to be modified, to be improved. And this is too good for you to know that throughout your life, you have the opportunity to improve your ability to love. This is an urgency, improving our way of loving, improving our way of dealing with people. Because this is our postcard. What about us? What that truly transforms, right? What does it truly count on in our existence? It's the way we deal with people. One person works the least. It works more. It works less as they are able to articulate what they are with those being around them. A person is more successful. One person works more. A person has a more space. A person reaches more achievements. Every time he knows how to articulate who he is. And I would dare to say here that being is directly turned on. The quality of being is directly linked to the ability to love. And loving is nothing but you articulate all the time what you are with what the world is being around you. That's where we're a friend, isn't it? You will become an attractive person to others as the other realizes that you are articulating well what you are with those around you. We want to be close to those who do this to us, of those who articulate well and who articulates us well in their way of being. Because we get rich. We grow, humanly speaking. I particularly like it. I want to be close to the people who articulate best. It's not a matter of good taste, right? I want to be with people who make me grow up. But every time I also want to exercise the same in people's lives. I need to have this sensitivity. Looking at her, realizing her that she has a context. That she has a story. The dynamic is this. There's no other way. All the time goes through our lives. People we have never seen who do not even imagine who they are. This is the human mystery. Or people we already know who they are. But when we look right, we realize that they are already modified. And that's the challenge, my people. We continue to establish these ties so that they are increasingly lasting because it makes a difference in our lives. Isaac. When you know that in your life now, you, thank God, can count friends of 10, 15, 20, 30 years. Anyone who has old friends knows what I'm talking about. Anyone who has old friends knows very well what I'm talking about now. You know that there are people who know you. Who know your own. They are aware of their history. Their context. That's it, very rich. And do you know why they know? It is because they knew how to live the new time. It is because they knew how to live the modifications. It is because they did not demand that I were who I was no longer. It is very bad when in life you realize that the other is wanting you to be who you are no longer. But it is also very rewarding when you realize that the other noted that you are modified, and even modified, he joined, reacted you into his life. Then you feel safe. Life led me, I was modified by life, but I can still return in the hearts of many people. I don't know. I can't be wrong. But I think this is the wealth that is worth it. Even because all the others are only funny if we can share with those we love. The wealth that is truly worth this day is this. As we conclude this spiritual exploration on Path of Faith, we invite you to engage with us by leaving your comments, liking this video, sharing it with others, and subscribing to our channel for regular doses of uplifting messages.